Steph Hutton beside me. Anita Asante is also here, but Steph, we've got to give you the first word on that first half, and in particular the way City were able to finish it out.
Yeah, I feel as though we really built into the game. I think it was quite even. I think Manchester United caused Manchester City some problems, especially on that right-hand side, but I think with the likes of Bunny Shaw and Lauren Hemp, I think you've got players that are very clinical, and when the chances are there, they're able to convert them, and that was the case. City have definitely grew into the game. You can see their passages of players, and I love the fact that they're trying to play forward early, which has caused Manchester United problems.
Tough first half for Manchester United. It was tough even at 1-0 because they weren't creating an awful lot, but that team talk in there now in the dressing room at half-time is so different from Mark Skinner.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, like as Steph said, it was even in the first 5-10 minutes, but you'll see the first goal here. It's a wicked in-swinger to the far post area, and Bunny Shaw does exceptionally well just to head it back across the goal and find Knaak, you know, who actually does really well to just redirect that headed pass, if you like, across the box, back again across the goal, as Safi Middleton Patel starts moving her feet in the opposite direction. So that's actually really hard technique, and she does really well there.
I think you can't underestimate how good a header that is. I think to be in that position from a standing jump and to be able to direct it back across the goal. But I think for me, Lauren Hemp took a corner previously just to that and put Man United right under pressure, and exactly the same as that. And with Bunny, she can be selfish and head towards goal, but she heads it back across, and a great finish, and that puts City 1-0 up.
They're so good with those headed goals as well, Steph, aren't they? Let's have a look then at the second. Towards the end of the first half, 2 minutes from 45 out, Khadija Shaw able to just capitalise and just create a bit more of a buffer.
Yeah, I think for me, Bunny hasn't really been involved as much in this first half, but I think on this right-hand side, when you got the likes of Kirsten Kasperai bombing up and down that wing, Fagino being in the pocket, that space is out wide, and I think this is such a clever pass, and the good thing about it is he does it early, because then the centre-halves can't set, and when you've got someone like Bunny Shaw in the middle of the goal where she's not really been involved, but when you're in the 6-yard box you can't let her go, and a great finish and a great portrait's finish, and that's what she's done most of the season this season so far.
And those connections are working so well for City at the moment, but in reverse they're not really for Manchester United just yet, Anita.
Yeah, absolutely. They really found their rhythm on both wings, really. But again, Kirsten Kasperai has been involved in their relationship with Bunny Shaw to find those connections and those early crosses, and it's causing Manchester United all sorts of problems.
Lauren Hemp back in the starting lineup, and then in stoppage time in the first half just provided a wonder strike.
Yeah, absolutely unbelievable strike from Hemp. I think she's been really involved in a lot of Manchester City's play so far, and it's Kasperai again. I think her strength running with the ball and just being able to lay off the pass, and Hempo from outside the box. I think for me it's really disappointing from Manchester United point of view. You have to get up to the ball. I think when you're running back towards your own goal, you have to go and try and put pressure on, and the quality that Hempo has with that left foot, and that's a great strike, and I'm really happy for our first game back after being injured, and I think you can see this whole first half how much of a key player she's been for Manchester City.
It is huge for her, isn't it, Anita? We were talking during the first half in terms of the run of luck she's had, but to be able to kind of pull out a goal like that, to just settle back into it.
Absolutely, and it looks like she's never been away, really, with a strike like that, and, you know, I think she's only going to keep growing, I think, the more minutes she gets with the confidence and the relationships on the pitch.
And you could even see that within her in that first half. But in terms of City and how they were playing and dominating possession, how they were causing questions of Manchester United, there was a lot coming down the left, wasn't there?
Yeah, there was, and I think you see a lot in the first half, and especially in the first 10-15 minutes you have midfield runners in deep. I think Viv Miedemar and Hempo working well together. Lauren Hemp kind of creating that space for Miedemar to run off the midfielder, and here you see her get in the box, and when Viv's in the box it's so hard to defend because she likes to take her shots early, but like you said before, that left hand side, Lauren Hemp has been a threat all game, I think, in terms of crosses into the box, being able to take them early as well, and the relationship down that left hand side for Manchester City has been really strong and caused Manchester United a lot of problems.
For United, Anita, I mean, what do they say at the break now?
I think now it's about going into the second half and saying it's 0-0. They can't concede any more goals. They've got to be slightly more disciplined and organised defensively. But going forward, they also need to use the space a lot better because they're trying to play centrally combination play, and it's, you know, Man City are crowding out the space they want to play in.
Okay, so it has been a fascinating first half here in the Manchester derby. Well, let's have a look then at the table because it does change things quite dramatically. Last week, Manchester City moved to the summit of the WSL table, and now, as you can see there, they are 4 points clear of Chelsea, who play Liverpool this weekend. Manchester United, though, started the day 4 points back. They're now 7 off that lead of their City rivals. So it is defining, isn't it, Anita, in terms of that title race and just how they look ahead towards the rest of the season.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big gap now for them to try and catch up, and I think this is the first season they've really had to manage a team and a squad over multiple competitions, and you know, the rotation in terms of the team has been a difficult thing for them, but I think they'll bounce back, and they've got, you know, Wolfsburg to look ahead to now.
And it is tough because it was a loss last week to Aston Villa. They obviously bounced back in Europe, but then another loss today against their City rivals.
Yeah, and I think that's been a bit of a question mark over Manchester United this season in terms of how would they cope with Champions League against big teams, and the amount of energy that they exerted on Wednesday as well to then come 2 days later and play in a derby. It is tough. We've experienced that as players, and that's something that they will have to learn over the next few weeks.
Yeah, absolutely. But for Manchester City, I mean, when they had their opportunities, they just took it. They were clinical, Anita.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When they get going and they have that rhythm and fluidity, there was exceptional performances for a number of players, but Vivian Miedema was one of them, alongside Hemp, who I thought was incredibly creative and created so many opportunities for them to score, and they put them in the back of the net.
So Lauren Hemp back doing what Lauren Hemp does, but for Andrea Jägler, it's such a good showing, isn't it, start of the season for Manchester City. But if we look at these 3 goals, we might look at Rebecca Knaak's first goal. Talk us through this, Steph.
Yeah, I think a great cross from Lauren Hemp. Bunny Shaw does really well to pass it back across the net with a head, but I think Rebecca Knaak, third goal in their third derby, but an unbelievable finish to put in the top corner.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a defender as well, getting the multiple goals for this team in the most pivotal games in derbies is exceptional.
Yeah, she does have a knack for doing it. Right, let's have a look then. Bunny Shaw. And this was the 5 minutes, wasn't it, just before the break, really, where it turned around and things got unstuck for Manchester United, but for City, just took control of it.
Yeah, well, Bunny didn't have a great deal of involvement during the first half in terms of her touches, but what she's good at is finding space with her movement, and it all starts with the delivery in the box from Kasparai. The timing of her run to just get on the end of it, and it was a great finish to make that 2-0.
She certainly is clinical, Bunny. When you give her chances, she's able to be around and alert in the box. And like Nita said, we didn't see much of her in the first half, but she finishes that one really well.
And I think we should have another look at Lauren Hemp's goal because it was so good, wasn't it? It's just a moment of magic.
Yeah, she was really involved in all the first half, and Kasparai again on that right-hand side, and Lauren Hemp's trying to get in the box, but she just checks her run, and when she's in this position here to strike outside the box, not enough pressure from Man United's point of view, but at the same time that is one hell of a strike to put in the top corner, and great timing as well just before half-time.
And superb that she's back within the team and contributing, because the team do sing well as a unit when she is in there playing.
We know how much impact she has when she's in the team, and Bunny Shaw fires when she's in the team because she knows how to put those players in the best positions to be clinical.
In terms of the mental strength, it's interesting, Steph, now with this team and the changes. Are you sensing a difference in them this season?
Yeah, you do sense a bit of a different vibe. I think when a new manager comes in, you've got to prove yourself again. You've got to try and fight for your place in the team. And there's competition for places, especially when you don't have them Champions League games midweek. And I think that's what you do on the training ground. I think mentality was a word that Hempo used quite a lot. I think it's about winning games of football, and they've shown that over the last few games, that's for sure.
And it is interesting, that dynamic, Anita. City don't have European football, United do, and both of them are having to manage their squads, and maybe that's what we saw today.
Yeah, I think, you know, the fact that they have a single focus, they can just hyper focus on the league and make sure that they get the right relationships on the pitch and make sure that the whole team has that rhythm and fluidity as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, Steph, Anisha, thank you so much for your company with us this afternoon on BBC. We had a brilliant Manchester derby here. They always entertain, and they did so again today. And it is the blue half of this city who are the happiest today. Thanks for watching. See you again soon. Bye-bye.
Well, Lauren, you are so back, aren't you? That's a huge win for the team, a wonderful goal for yourself, and you look like you enjoyed every minute of it.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. It's so nice to be back with all the girls, and I think today we showed the mentality that I said at the start we needed to show, and obviously we got a clean sheet as well, which was so important for us, and we got the 3 points most importantly.
Manchester is blue tonight. You're 4 points clear at the top of the table. How excited should these City fans get about what this team is doing at the moment?
Yeah, it's so exciting. It's important that we stay humble and we know where we're at and we're in a good place as a team. So yeah, hopefully we'll continue this run.
Well, look, it's great to see you back. It's great to see you smiling. You are the Barclays player of the match. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well done.
Cheers.